Have you ever envisioned that perfect getaway, only to realize it might not be so healthy for you? It's a common concern. Statistically, many older adults inadvertently choose destinations that could compromise their well-being, especially those managing conditions like heart issues or arthritis. Take the example of Maria, a vibrant 70-year-old who excitedly booked a trip to experience the beauty of Southeast Asia. She had always dreamed of seeing the ancient temples and bustling markets. However, the combination of unfamiliar foods and differing sanitation standards led to a severe case of food poisoning that required hospitalization. Her dream trip quickly turned into a stressful and costly medical ordeal. The reality is, some seemingly idyllic spots can pose hidden hazards as we age. Today, we'll explore some locations that may not be the best choices for seniors and explain why even a brief visit could present risks. Let's get started, because the information shared today could help you stay safe. Before we dive in, if you find this information helpful, consider supporting the creation of future content like this by turning on notifications so you don't miss any future updates. First, let's talk about high-altitude destinations. While the views are incredible, locations like the Himalayan mountains or even cities like Mexico City can be risky. The reduced oxygen at high elevations can cause altitude sickness, leading to headaches, dizziness, and in severe cases, life-threatening conditions like pulmonary edema. I remember a story about David, a 65-year-old with a passion for photography who traveled to the Andes Mountains to capture the stunning landscapes. He ascended too quickly and developed severe altitude sickness, requiring emergency medical evacuation. His trip was cut short, and he learned a valuable lesson about the importance of acclimatizing slowly. To mitigate these risks, consult your doctor before traveling to high altitudes, ascend gradually, stay hydrated, and avoid alcohol. If you're drawn to breathtaking scenery but concerned about altitude, consider alternatives like coastal regions or lower elevation national parks. Instead of the Himalayas, perhaps explore the scenic beauty of the Scottish Highlands. Remember, safety should always be a priority. Next, we'll consider extreme hot climates. While a sunny beach vacation sounds appealing, places like the Sahara Desert or the Middle East can be dangerous for seniors. Our bodies become less efficient at regulating temperature as we age, making us more susceptible to heat stroke and dehydration. Take, for example, Susan, a 72-year-old who visited Arizona during the summer. Despite taking precautions, she underestimated the intensity of the desert heat and experienced heat exhaustion. She learned the hard way that even short periods of exposure can be risky. To stay safe, opt for destinations with milder climates, stay hydrated, wear light clothing, and avoid strenuous activities during peak heat hours. Instead of the scorching desert, consider a trip to the Mediterranean coast, where you can enjoy warm weather without extreme heat. Moving on, let's discuss remote wilderness areas. The allure of exploring untouched landscapes is undeniable, but locations like the Amazon rainforest or the Alaskan wilderness can be risky due to limited access to medical care. Imagine a scenario where John, a 78-year-old experienced hiker, ventured into a remote part of the Canadian Rockies. He tripped and broke his ankle, and with no cell service, he had to wait several hours for rescue. His experience highlights the potential dangers of venturing too far off the beaten path. If you're an adventurous senior, consider guided tours or destinations closer to medical facilities. National parks with established trails and ranger stations are a safer option. Instead of the deep wilderness, explore the scenic trails of a well-maintained state park. Now, let's consider crowded cities. While vibrant and exciting, cities like New York City or Tokyo can be overwhelming for seniors. The constant noise, pollution, and crowds can lead to stress and fatigue. I recall the story of Helen, a 66-year-old who visited New York City for the first time. She quickly became overwhelmed by crowds and the constant stimulation, experiencing anxiety and exhaustion. Her trip, which she had anticipated for years, was ultimately less enjoyable than she had hoped. For a more relaxed urban experience, consider smaller cities with cultural attractions but fewer crowds. Instead of New York, perhaps explore the charm of Savannah, Georgia. Air pollution is a significant concern. Studies have shown that prolonged exposure to urban air pollution can increase the risk of respiratory and cardiovascular problems, so it is important to consider this when planning a trip. Let's move on to cruise ships. Although popular for their convenience and entertainment, cruise ships can be breeding grounds for germs. Norovirus and other contagious illnesses can spread rapidly in the close quarters of a ship. Consider the experience of Robert, a 74-year-old who contracted norovirus on a cruise to the Caribbean. He spent several days confined to his cabin, missing out on the activities and excursions he had been looking forward to. To minimize your risk, wash your hands frequently, avoid buffet-style dining, and consider shorter cruises. Smaller ships and river cruises offer a less crowded environment. Instead of a large ocean liner, consider a river cruise through Europe. Lastly, let's discuss developing countries. While culturally rich, many developing countries pose health risks due to poor sanitation, contaminated water, and limited access to medical care. Imagine the experience of Sarah, a 68-year-old who traveled to Southeast Asia and contracted a waterborne illness. She spent weeks recovering and learned a valuable lesson about the importance of taking precautions in developing countries. If you choose to travel to these regions, drink bottled water, avoid raw foods, and consult your doctor about necessary vaccinations. Destinations with robust healthcare systems like New Zealand are a safer alternative. Remember, informed choices are key to a healthy and enjoyable trip. As we wrap up, what's one thing you've learned today that will influence your future travel plans? Perhaps you'll reconsider high-altitude destinations or be more cautious about food safety in developing countries. Share your thoughts in the comments below, as your insights can help others. If you found this information valuable, please share it with your friends and family.